that? Oh God, I'm gonna die. I gotta get this on camera. No. Hey everybody, welcome to the Marino Show. I'm your host, David Marino, and today I have an impersonator of Captain Spaulding. He's based in San Antonio. He takes part in a number of events, and we're going to talk about being an impersonator and everything that goes along with that, along with also being the founder of the Creepy Clown Society. So thank you so much for joining me. I really appreciate you taking the time to talk to me today.
Yeah, no problem. Thank you. Thank you, sir.
Of course. Well, I've seen all your social media posts. I love your social media channel. I was talking to you a little earlier before we started the recording that I discovered you through Jessica the Nun, who is a cosplayer in San Antonio, and she mentioned you and also the Creepy Clown Society, as she's a member of that.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
Tell me, first of all, how did you get started in this world of impersonating? Take me back to when all of this first kind of started manifesting itself.
Well, I mean, I would normally tell you in my other voice, but I'll use my regular voice for now. But it all started. Man, it was like around 2005ish or 6ish, right around when the House of a Thousand Corpses got released, and I actually played music, and I was on stage. And there was a young girl. She was tearing down a drum set, and she was like, "Hey, you look like this clown. It's in a movie." And I was like, "A clown in a movie? Yeah, I look like a clown." I was like, "Man, like John Wayne Gacy?" So I was like, "Oh no, not that guy. No, it's another clown, but I just can't remember the name." So later on, I went home, and I was married at the time, and was talking about it, and we're like, "Oh wow, there's a House of a Thousand Corpses. You must be referring to that guy." So one day I tried it out, put on the makeup and stuff, and people got freaked out. And of course my beard was black and it was dark, and I think I got one picture of me holding a guitar, and it's just my bass guitar, and it just looks horrible compared to what it looks today. But yeah, that's how it pretty much got started. Just somebody said I looked like somebody, and tried it out a couple of times. And then I think it was around 12, 13, something like that, when they had one of the first big Comic-Cons downtown, and Stan Lee was going to be there, and all these people. And I said, "Yeah, I'm going to try it out. I'm gonna put on a raggedy shirt, and I'll put the makeup on, and just some random clothes, and try it out. Let's just see how much of attention I get out of it." And man, it was ridiculous. I couldn't even. It took at least about 45 minutes just to get from the entrance to inside the con. It was just ridiculous. I didn't think the character was going to be that popular. And I look back at it then, I didn't look nothing like Sid Haig, or no, I wasn't even trying to pertain to him. I was just trying to be like, look, hey, like, but yeah, a lot of people loved it and liked it. And then funny thing, my kids like, "Hey, Dad, there's another clown later on in another con." I said, "Hey, Dad, there's a guy who's dressed up like you, but he's got the clown suit." I said, "I'm not gonna wear that clown suit. I'm not gonna wear the clown suit, the hat, and I ain't gonna wear none of that." Years later, here I am. I got the suit, I got shirts, I got 3 different costumes of him. And yeah, that's just pretty much how it all started to what it is today.
Were you actually like a fan of House of a Thousand Corpses? Had you seen the films at that point, Devil's Rejects, the Rob Zombie,
Oh yes,
those
yes,
films?
oh yes,
So
oh yeah.
do you like horror? I mean, is that something you were already into prior to playing, impersonating this character?
I was already into horror at the time, and when those films came out, it was really cool. It was really different. You know, Rob Zombie brought a different element to it. You know, and I was already into it, but I just didn't think I was going to dress up like the clown, and I didn't think I was going to get that much attention. Keep in mind that this was a progression from 2005 or ish, and but I'm going on now on my 16th year as Kaptain Kutter. So I've been doing it for a long time, but I just never thought it would be like this, though.
So obviously, that's probably a natural progression to founding the Creepy Clown Society. Tell me about that, and about how you founded it and who it consists of.
As far as well, consistency is, there's a lot of. I mean, we have like about 21, 22 members in there, and so they're just random members that come in and out, and they're all independent. They all do their own thing. It's not like they're bound to the society. But it all started with one of my buddies. He dresses up like Pennywise, like the old one, and I would always see him all the time. And I was like, man, it's cool, because the way it works is when you see one character from a movie, it usually sparks an intention, like, oh wow, you know, it's, it's Pennywise or it's it or something, But then when you bring in another clown from another movie, and there's two of them, and it's like, oh wow. So it was during the time, man, years back. I think it was like on Monster Con. He was there, I was there, and I saw like Ghostface, and I saw Jason, I saw Freddy Krueger, and I said, man, this would be awesome. So I just walked up to them, said, hey guys, let's just take a photo together. And man, when you look up, there was nothing but phones and cameras everywhere, and people started just lining up. I mean, an actual line to take photos with us, and those guys were just standing there. So that was kind of like the spark of it, the inspiration. And I was like, man, but that was years ago. But then I was like, as time progressed, and you know, I started getting a little bit in order, getting noticed, and I was like, I saw my friend again. I was like, man, we took pictures, same reaction. And this was back in 23. And so by late 24 in November, I was like, man, you know what? I'm going to call all these people up and see if they want to just, huddle up, be together. And we're going to call it like a Creepy Clown Society thing. So we end up getting another Pennywise. Or what it? Well, then we had Pennywise, we had it, and then we also had we had some couple killer clowns in it. We had Twisty the Clown. We had like a lot of these known clowns in it too, and we also have an Art the Clown, and it's one of my personal buddies, and I always rag on that clown on Art, but but at the same time we're good friends, and he does the same thing to me. So I started looking for all these movie clowns I can get. Plus, I also had other friends too that they would been known for a long time. It was like a trio of them. It's three of them, two guys and one girl. And I asked them to be a part of it, and they like, yeah, let's do it. And before you know it, it grew. It grew from like 12 to 13 to 22. It's like it's just been an amazing journey with that. And we have just about almost every different kind of slasher, clown, monster, universal monster, in a group. So that's what changed recently, actually. So it's still called Creepy Clown Society, but now it's more Creepy Clown Society Family, which now we incorporate slashers and universal monsters. So it's just not just clowns. You get all variety of different groups. So it's been going pretty good.
For you, as being an impersonator, of Captain Spaulding. Do you do events? I know you show up at different cons, and they're in San Antonio where you're based. They have a really healthy horror fan base. I mean, there's a lot of events every weekend that I see. So do you attend the events? Do you also like, can you be hired to go to stuff?
Yes,
or?
yes.
Okay.
I can be hired too as well. Yes, I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
One of my first major events was by Retro City. And it was the very first time that I ever seen any cosplayer, impersonator, anybody do this. And it was actually a celebrity sit-in with the celebrities. So it was with Richard Brake, Robert Mukes, and then it was me. And believe it or not, I had a line of people, and they thought I was Sid Haig, and I was like, no, I'm not Sid Haig, I'm Kaptain Kutter for legal purposes, But I also had my own pictures and everything else too. But it was a really awesome experience, and it was kind of like a birthday times two kind of thing, just to be sitting next to a celebrity. It's like, wow. Usually cosplayers are usually away from the celebrities or a different part of it. But after I did that, I saw some people trying to mimic it, But I was one of the first ones to actually do that, to actually like be legitly arm's reach, to Robert Mukes. And then we became friends. And Robert Mukes is one of my friends too. So yeah, it was an awesome experience. That was the very first launch of my Kaptain Kutter.
Speaking of celebrities, have you met celebrities from like House of a Thousand Corpses or Devil's Rejects? Tell me about that.
Oh yes, yes. I have met Walter Phillum. I have met Ginger Land. I met Ken Forey. Man, I met so many of them. I can't think of them all the time. I met Billy. I forgot his last name. Sorry, Billy. But yeah, Lee Temple. Lee Temple is one of my good buddies too. It was actually the inspiration of me continuing to do this. But yes, I have met a lot of the actors from that movie and got the respect from the actors portraying Sid Haig, and even heard Sid Haig stories. Like they were not even on film. And it was cool. It was cool to do actually a photo shoot too with Michael Berryman and Daniel Roebuck and Michael. I can't remember his last name, but they call him Redbone. He's a comedian. I did that at Cult Classics, and that was another lunch. I never thought I would be in a room with three celebrities, and doing pro photo shoots with them. So it was awesome, to do some things, and I get the respect from them, and a lot of times, they say, look, you're pretty close, you're pretty close. But I'm not trying to be Sid Haig. Let me just get that clear. I'm not trying to be Sid Haig. I admire Sid Haig. I admire his legacy, and I just want to continue that legacy and just keep reminding people of Captain Spaulding.
Well, what a unique experience, though, to be able to meet the actors, some of the actors from the film, and also, just as you said, be in the same room with other actors in the horror genre. I imagine, as you said earlier, this was kind of an happened by chance type of thing. So, I know you have your regular day job, but, how has this character or your impersonating work kind of impacted your life as a whole? Because I have to imagine that it is such a big part of what you do, like outside of your 9-to-5 job. How has this really shaped, even who you are today, playing this character?
That's a good question. It's definitely shaped it up where I'm pretty busy. A lot of times I'm a clown, but I play other characters too as well. I done Red Guardian. I did Red Guardian over the weekend at SpaceCon, and I do Master Roshi and other characters too. But as far as the clown, Kaptain Kutter it's been my main thing for the longest time, and it's pretty amazing when you get people calling your name, hey, Kaptain Kutter. Like, oh my God, they know my name. That's awesome. you know. And one of the last big things I did, another milestone that I did was Big Texas Terror. You know, doing a photo shoot, or actually a photo ops, doing photo ops at with the Devil's Rejects car, with the car that was actually done in the movie, and it was
Wow.
just, you know, like, man, this is wild, you know. And you know, and there's like, they're all just Sid Haig. Oh, I'm not Sid Haig. I'm Captain Kutter. I'm his cousin, you know. But you know, that was another big thing by Big Texas Terror. You know, it was like, wow, to do photo ops with the Devil's Rejects car, and hats off to Cadillac Rax, because that's his. He owns that car, and it was another thing. So yeah, it has impacted a lot, you know, and it's just it's like, you know, when you first start off, you know, on social media, you'll post something, and now it's like, man, I got to keep up. I got to keep posting something, keep traction on it, because I don't want to lose traction on my character as well. So now I'm reaching out even to other states now. So I haven't gone there yet, but it was very close to doing Oklahoma. So
Well, I have no doubt that you'll get there, you know, and that's going to be awesome. But I also have to imagine that it must also just be fun to see the impact that you have on the horror fans, right? Because that's what
oh
it's all
yeah.
about. I mean, how do you feel that it kind of, I mean, are you amazed at just the amount of people who you said earlier, like wanting to take pictures with you, but how does it feel for you to know that you are bringing a positive experience to people? I know people outside of the horror genre, or people who don't really understand the love for horror, may not get that comment, but you really
Hmm.
do bring joy. People, I love it. It's like a kid in a candy store when I go somewhere and I see a bunch of horror movie posters or like figurines, or which you have one, by the way, that you showed earlier.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. This guy right here. Yeah, we look alike. Same shirt.
exactly. So how does it feel to know that you're having that kind of an impact for fans of the character, and also just for the horror fans in general?
Well, you know, it's impacted it so much that man, I was at another one that I attend is horror for the holidays in Austin, and I had a vendor talking to me, and he was like, you know, he's telling me, he goes, "Hey man, I met Sid Haig not last year." You know, I was like, "Well, this was like the year before when this happened." And I was like, "You did?" He goes, "Yeah, I met Sid Haig." He goes, "Well, holy shit, tell me about it." He was like, "Oh yeah, I was talking. He was real nice, took photos, and he was, you know, he was real generous, and he told me to come back, and I was, you know, he's just real good guy." I was like, "Man, that's crazy to know that, because he died in 2019, and the person you were talking to was me." The whole, so I was using my voice too at the same time. You know, I was like, "Holy shit! Well, goddamn, you're talking to his ass." He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "Yeah." I was like, "Oh man, you should have asked him for some chicken or something." And he was just buying into it. And like I said, at the very end, it was me you were talking to. It wasn't Sid Haig. It was me. It was like, and then he just turned around and was like, "Ah, you're kind of close to him. You're not that close." I was like, "Okay."
Okay.
Uh,
Yeah, he
but
probably just
yeah,
felt embarrassed that you were able to trick him.
no, no. So, you know, back to the Retro City where I was sitting with Robert Mutes, and I've done stuff with Michael Behrman too with Retro City. Um, you know, I was signing an autograph for this guy and his kids, and I was like, "Okay, sir, you know, what do you want me to put on there? You know, to who?" Or I'm signing it, and I can hear him telling his kiddos that I'm getting Sid Haig's autograph, and I can't wait to put it up there with Bill Moseley and everybody else. And I told him, I said, "No, I'm Kaptain Kutter, not Sid Haig." And he just refused to hear that. He was just such in a daze that I put Kaptain Kutter, and yeah, he took it, and he's like, "All right, I got them all." You know, he was excited, but it was just that excitement from those people, from the fans, you know, and that brings me joy. That's what it does to me. When I see the fans excited about my character and how they get excited about it, makes me excited about it. And that's how it all just, just like a big ball of happiness and like, all right, cool, cool, yeah, yeah. But every now and then I do get asked if I'm Sid Haig though. I was like, no, no, I'm not. No, I'm not. And I'm actually friends with his wife online too. But I don't expect any kind of, because it does hit home very hard. Especially when I met Bill Moseley. Ben Moseley was very, very quiet when I saw him, and I saw him at Houston Horror Film Festival, and I was just, hey, but goddamn, I let you go. You cut your goddamn hair. You look all spiffy now, and I'm messing with him, but he's just not bite into it. He's just like, you look good. You look good. And I messaged him. I said, hey man, it was good seeing you. And he was like, oh, you look great, man. All 3 days, you look great. So
Yeah.
yeah. So some people it hits home, and some people it doesn't. But one of the things about Kaptain Kutter or Captain Spaulding that people don't see, like you said, the horror, that the love for it. I do cosplays with my daughter, and she does Samora from The Ring, and we're always, go out. But you got to keep in mind, Captain Spaulding was also a father too. He had a family. He had kids. He had stepkids and kids. And what he wanted to do, yeah, he was a violent and there's some crimes, but at the end of the day, he wanted to make sure his daughter was okay. And that's exactly what I do, is make sure my daughter is okay. So that's how the resemblance is. As far as to life, to a movie, we're the same. Just a father keeping my kid. I don't do crimes though, but yeah. But the excitement, man, and that's why how much it's impacted me today.
Yeah, I was about to ask about your family and friends, how they react to it. I mean, knowing that your daughter is also part of it. What about, your friends and some of your other family members? Were they initially surprised when you started doing this, but now to see you like 16 years later, is it just sort of like, oh, okay, they're used to it?
Yeah. I mean, I had to have one family member is like, hey, you need to do your own clown, and I was like, all right. And believe it or not, it did lead up to that. It did up to that. Alliance Act Productions actually put me in a film called The Last Laugh, and I was my actual clown. I did a short film with them, and I did Bobo the Clown, and it was very awesome. So me portraying this character has led up to celebrity sit-ins, like photo ops, pro photo ops, a movie, it's been a wild ride, man. 16 years, and it all started like about 14, about year 14. That's when everything started. Like, wow, I was like, holy smokes, this is awesome.
Do you find that, I mean, I know cons have been around for a long time, but it feels like, especially over the past, 5 to 10 years, that it's really taken off. And I don't know if that's also because of social media too. It might be, but have you noticed, I mean, in that time that it has really garnered a different kind of fandom than before? I mean, because you started early and like you said, 14 years in, now you're getting, all these bigger opportunities. But
Oh
do you think
yes.
that that's partly due to social and maybe just people gravitating more to those characters now that they can see them everywhere and you can post stuff? What is your thought process on that, or why it's sort of become as big as it has?
Yeah, I definitely think it has a lot to do with socials and them even promoting you or even talking about you, like, oh, we're gonna have this guy here. And they're like, holy shit, he looks just like Captain Spaulding. And I think that's, and a word of mouth too, because I have other celebrities that talk to other celebrities, and when they see me, they're like, oh man, they talked about you. It's like, what? It's like, and like I said, even when I do go to cons, if I'm making an appearance, it's crazy to walk by another horror table, uh, and they mess with me, or they'll talk to me, or they'll say, "Hey, I want a photo with you." I was like, "You want a photo with me? It should be the other way around." You know. I mean, Lachlan Monroe was one of them. It was like, it was like, hey, he was there with John, and it was like, hey, ooh, let's get a photo together. Like, let's get a photo together. I mean, hell. So I think a lot of that about word of mouth and social media, and just, I do some TikToks. I try to do some funny stuff, but I also do silly stuff with my kid. But yeah, a lot of social media has really, made that, more for me, as opposed to I'm dressing up as a scary character going to a superhero thing, you know. I thought I was going to get zero response out of it, but I got a huge response out of it. So, yeah. So back then to now, I think social media has impacted my how they see me and how they can interact with me, and especially when I'm using my voice, and it's not quite like Sid's. Like I said, I'm not trying to be Sid's, but it's just I just want to bring the character to life, to make them feel like I just came out of the movie. But yes, social media has impacted it quite a bit to spread the word about me a little bit more.
What else would you like to do? I mean, you said you've met celebrities, you've done the photo shoots, you didn't appear in a film. Would you love to do more film work? I mean, what else would you like to do that maybe you haven't done yet that's kind of on the bucket list for you?
Oh, I would like to do another sit-in with the celebrities. Yeah, and another filming is fun too. I mean, I love when I did that. The last laugh. It was fun. It was great. It was a bit different for me, because I'm used to doing something different. But definitely film. But also at the same time, just do another sit-in. Sit-in with Robert Mukes again, and Richard Brake or Bill Moseley or Michael Berryman. I mean, it was an awesome experience just sitting next to them and joking around with them and stuff. It's just hilarious. It's just, wow, this is so cool. And people come by and they're like, wow. I mean, I had a lady rush up to me, and she thought I was Sid Haig, and she was messaging her daughter on the phone and showed me. I'm messaging my daughter right now, and she says that you died in 2019, but here you are, right here. I was like, yeah, I came back to life. So doing those kind of things was very fun, and I would like to do more of it. I love doing the photo ops. Like I said, I like meeting people. Like meeting new people, like meeting people, other cosplayers, characters, entertainers. I mean, it doesn't. That's just the way it goes. Like even in the Creepy Clown Society, I just like to meet other characters and have fun with them.